All right. All right, ladies. So we are going to be talking about mastering in-home parties. Make sure you have a pen and paper and you can write down some really great information. Pay attention. There will be two passwords located inside of this video. When you message me those passwords at the end of this video, it needs to be both of them, you will be getting a little freebie from me as well. This is being recorded. If you can make sure, if you haven't already done so, click the little button on there. That way you can have access to listening to me. If you haven't done it yet, you probably can't listen to me anyway. Oh, well, we're just going to keep talking. All right. So we have a couple of things we're going to talk about. We are going to be talking about why in-home parties, why are they vastly different from virtual parties or social selling. We're going to talk to you about creating a launch date or a relaunch date for those of you who maybe haven't done an in-home party, but maybe you've been a consultant for a long time, or several years, or maybe COVID really messed with you and you're ready to relaunch your business for in-home parties. We're going to give you lots of booking techniques that are outside of parties, and we're also going to give you some booking techniques that you can use at parties. There's going to be a lot of information over the next 8 weeks over just piecing out a lot of different pieces, like what you can show at parties, how you can how all of this flows together during a party demonstration. But all of that does not matter if you don't have a party to book right now. All right, so right now we are focusing on getting your calendar filled up. So why in-home parties? First things first, they are super fun. People love to get together with their girlfriends, especially again when you have things like COVID that smacked us in the face for you guys 2 years. It's affected our business. People want to get together with their friends, and what I've noticed over the last several months within home parties, that they're gaining more traction with attendance, but people are so damn happy to be there. They are so excited to see their friends. They are so excited to spend money with you. So if you're not tapping into it right now, you're really truly missing out on huge income potential right now. People are just really excited to get their girlfriends together. And if they're going to get their girlfriends together at their home, they could do a pajama thing at their house. They can do wine and movies. They could, do whatever. They can just have girl chat. But why not have this component in there as well? Our parties are so much more fun than any other party plan out there. And it's just a good reason to get your girls together. So make sure you're talking about that. Every time you go live in your VIP groups, make sure you're talking about how much fun you're having. In addition to that, you're going to sell a lot more at in-home parties versus virtual parties. Hands down, your average customer is going to spend more money with you. You're going to actually work fewer hours. And I know that for some of you, you may think that you're working more hours with an in-home party, but you're not. When you do virtual selling, you're on the computer all the time. You're posting, you're trying to beef up attendance, you're talking to your hostess, you're going live, you're doing all these things. You might even be doing packaging orders and shipping orders and trying to get somebody to pay their damn freaking invoice. When you are doing a in-home party, you drive to their home, you set up your table, you do your party demonstration, which is about 45 minutes to an hour long. You take down your demo stuff, and then you go to the shopping room. And if you have inventory, that's it as far as the party itself goes. It also can build relationships very quickly when you're doing in-home parties. It's easier for people to know who you are, who you genuinely are as a person. It's easier for them to want to refer people to you as well, because they're going to get to know you better. In addition to that, because of all of those reasons, you're going to be able to build your customer base very organically. A lot of times people, they look at what I have in my VIP group and they're like, how come it does so well? Most of the people that I've met through my VIP group are from in-home parties. All right. And then over time, I've gained other people through virtual parties, but the base of my customer base is through people who know me as a human being before they know me as a sex toy lady. Okay. So before we get into all of the really great things you're going to learn today, let's talk about a little bit of goal setting, because this is going to help to set you up with how many parties you want to do. Because just saying, I want to have extra money and I want to do parties, that's not a goal, because that is a surefire way for you to fail with party bookings. If you have no goal in mind, you have no roadmap of where you want to be. So ask yourself, how much money do you want to make per month or per week, whatever those goals are? And as a new consultant, you can expect to make about $200 profit per in-home party that you're doing. And if you're a seasoned consultant, if you have inventory, if you know how to have the dynamics work with your party demonstration, like I know that Nina's on this call right now. She has done hundreds, if not over 1,000 parties. She's seasoned. I'm sure her party average is $400 party profit or more. I know that for me, my average party profit per party is $700 profit, guys. That's profit. That's not what I sell. And that just comes over time. But as a brand new person, or if you don't have a lot of experience within home parties, then about $200 per party profit. That's a good number to start with. And let's just say this, you're there for a few hours, guys. That's a really great pay. Again, so how many parties will it take every single month for you to reach your goal? If you are new, and if you want to make $1,000 a month, you do the math on that, that would be about 5 parties per month. And you need to add, I say 25% more for cancellations. So I would go for trying to book 6 or 7 parties if you're new, if you want to make $1,000 in a month. And that's, again, that's going to be very easy to make in 6 or 7 parties a month. All right, so now you have your goal. You kind of know what you're striving for. The next thing you need to do is you need to look at your calendar and figure out what dates you actually have available. If you're telling me you want 10 parties in a month, you better dang well make sure that you have 10 party dates or more available inside of your calendar. And it's important that you look at what you have available. This is your business. I don't want to do parties on Sundays. I don't do them on Sundays. I don't do them on Mondays. I don't want to book 5, 6, 7 parties in a week. I don't want to do that. So my party dates are Thursday, Friday, Saturday. That's it. And I only want to work 3 Saturdays a month at most. I always want to have at least 1 Saturday off. You might decide that you want to do, maybe 2 parties on a Saturday. Maybe you have only Sundays and Mondays open. That's going to be up to you. And then you also want to take a peek at what days you don't want to work. Is it your birthday? Is it an anniversary? Is there a wedding? Are you going on vacation? Remember, this is your business. And I think sometimes what we do is we are so desperate for getting parties sometimes that we just say, I have a wide open schedule. You tell me when you want to do a party. That sounds like somebody who has a shit business. I just want to be really, really, really honest with you guys. When you say I have open availability and you can choose whatever date you want, you look like the restaurant that is not busy for good reason because you serve soggy French fries and cheeseburgers that are cold. Okay. Don't be that person. Be the person who is in high demand. You have a business, you set your hours and you stick to them. Are we understanding? Okay. Because when you show that you have certain availabilities, people are going to choose within the time frames that you want to work, not based on what's convenient for them. It's going to make them choose a date sooner. Supply and demand, baby. That's what it is. So what I want you to do is, let me take this off screen share for just a minute. What I do when I have my dates written down, I circle them in a calendar. And by the way, you want to invest in a good calendar when you're doing something like this. Let me put this on speaker. That way people who are watching a recording can see what I'm talking about here. Spotlight for everybody. Okay. So I use a calendar that has a layout that looks like this. Okay. It has a week at a glance. And then it has space for me to write information in, and then it has this little itty bitty box. I love this box, and that will be more, we're going to learn a little more later on how to stay organized, but I actually create my own organizational tools when I do a party. So I have these little stickers. All right. I'm not going to talk about those today. I'll talk about them later on, but this helps me keep track of what I need to do for a party. Does that make sense? So did I make her invitation? Have I reached out to her? All of that. So that's why I like this layout. If you are only booking your parties through using just a Google Calendar, get a paper one. A paper calendar is going to really help you a lot. Once you have those party dates written down on what you really, really want to do, what I'm going to recommend that you do next is put out some sticky notes on a folder or a lapboard or whatever you want to use them on. And you are going to put down your 6 to 9 of your closest dates. This is what I call an open date card. This way, you always have them available when you go to a party. This is going to be important when you do party booking games at a party. We'll explain more how that works later, but you would just literally put the date. So I might put Saturday, April 2nd at 6 p.m. on this card. On this one, I'll put a different date. This one, I'll put a different one. This one, I'll put a different one. That way, when I'm playing my party booking games, if they see a date that they want, they take it off and they put it on their connection card. Okay, we're talking strategy right now, but that's what an open date card looks like. So when you hear me refer to that, that's what that is. All right, we're going back to a screen share. Okay, so that is that. Next. Okay, first passcode is 1. Write that down. First passcode is 1. Okay, so the next step we're going to do, now that we know what dates we want to actually have for our parties, we need to choose a launch. Now, I know some of you are going to tell me right off the get-go, you're going to give me every excuse in the world why you can't do this at your house. My house is too small. I have dogs. I have kids that won't leave. I don't love where my house is under construction. Y'all could tell me a million excuses in the whole wide world, but I'm telling you right now that a launch party is successful. It's a good part of your business. You don't have to have 300 people in your home. You can have a small launch party and have a lot of success with it, okay? Give yourself permission to just know that your friends and family love you for who you are. And if you absolutely cannot have it at your house for whatever reason, ask a family member if you can borrow their house, all right? We need to launch or relaunch your business if you are struggling. All right, so I'm going to give you some really great scripts today on how to do a personal reach out to invite your guests individually, how to invite them, and how to ask them for a party if they cannot attend to it. So I call this the 1, 2, 3 launch. It's just a launch party or a relaunch party. And the most important part of this thing working is for you to individually ask them if they can attend. So step 1. I'm going to give you 2 different scripts. I'm going to give you a script if you are a seasoned consultant, and I'm going to give you a script if you're a person who has never done an in-home party at all. If you are not seasoned, like even if you've done 2 or 3 parties, you can still use the seasoned consultant script. All right. So make sure you have your pen and paper ready. You can write this down, or you can just take some screenshots if you want to. All right. So you are going to choose your launch party date. By the way, the sooner the better. So let's say you are doing, you chose April 15th. That's going to be the day that you want to do your party. You're going to go ahead and message your friends now. You're going to message each of them individually. It could be through text message. It could be through a Facebook Messenger. Oh my gosh, you could even pick up a phone and call people. What? Isn't that crazy? Phone calls are so scary. I'm just saying that they're really not that scary. They're a great way for you to actually show your excitement in your voice when you're able to pick up the phone. But say something like this. Hey, Susie, I use Susie a lot, all right? So, hey, Susie, I'm not sure if you heard the news, but I'm back to doing in-home parties after all this COVID stuff for 2 years. I am so excited. I'm having a relaunch date on April 15th at 6 p.m. And as one of my very best clients or very best friends or very best people, my very best peeps, I wanted to see if you could make it. I'll even be giving away some Hostess credits. Okay. And then for some reason, the other part cut off, and it should say, can I count you as a yes? All right. So can I count you as a yes? All right. When she says yes, great. You're going to send this. Great. I'll add you to the Facebook event. If you bring a friend, you will get a free gift. When you bring 3 shopping friends, you'll get a free vibrator. Plus, you can earn tickets into winning some of the Hostess rewards when you RSVP as going, and when you bring friends, etc. There's a lot more information to come. I cannot wait. Once she says yes, then you add her to the Facebook invitation. Does this make sense? You add them after they say yes. Don't, for goodness sake, don't invite 300 people to a launch party Facebook event for your in-home party. You and I both damn well know that you don't want 300 people inside of your house. As a matter of fact, you probably can't stand half of those people that you've invited there. Choose the people you actually want to be there and personally invite them. It makes them feel special. It makes them feel more inclined to actually be there when they say yes. And it's going to give you ammunition when they say no. And here it is. This is your magic words. No. All right. No, I can't be there. Whatever it is. I'm so sorry. I have to go out of town, or I can't. I have another birthday party to go to. I have, have a dinner party or whatever. You will get no's. This is what you send to those people. Oh, bummer. I'm sorry that date doesn't work for you. Any chance you might be interested in having your own girls' night in with me and some peer romance fun? It'll be a great time, and it would really help me out with rebuilding my in-home party business. Yo, who can say no to that? Who can say no to that? All right. By the way, you're going to have friends who will ghost you when you ask them the first time, they won't even give you a yes or no. Just circle back to them like the next day. Just say, hey, I really would love for you to be there. Can I count you as a yes? Just go back and ask her again if she doesn't answer you the first time. That shows her that you really do want her to be there. Okay. So that's how you can, that's what you can send them. All right. Now, for those people who are new team members, if you've never done in-home parties yet, this is your message. All right. So, hey, Susie, I'm not sure if you heard the news, but I've started my own pure romance business. I'm so excited. I'm having a launch party on date on April 15th at 6 p.m. And as one of my very best friends, I wanted to see if you could make it. I'll even be giving away some goodies. Can I count you as a yes? Okay. And when she says yes, yay, I'll add you to the Facebook event. If you bring a friend, you'll get a free gift. When you bring 3 shopping friends, you'll get a free vibrator. Plus, you can earn tickets into winning some other prizes when you RSVP as going, bring friends, etc. More to come. I can't wait. Then you add her to the Facebook event. Okay. If she says no, you say, oh, bummer. I'm sorry that date doesn't work for you. Any chance you might be interested in having your own girls' night with me and some pure romance fun? It'll be a great time, and it would really help me out with building my in-home party business. All right. And then she'll tell you yes or no. Okay. Some of them will say no, but you'll never know if you don't ask. All right, so I'm going to stop there for a minute. We're going to talk about some other techniques. I'm sure some of you have questions right now regarding, a launch or a relaunch with the scripts. I want to reiterate that when you are able to personally reach out and ask them if they can attend these things, they're going to feel more inclined to say yes. And if they cannot, they're going to feel more inclined to at least be open to entertaining the thought of them having a party as well. All right. Does anyone have any aha moments with that right now? Or anyone have any excitement? Like they're like, I could totally do this.
So I've picked a date. I'm relaunching at the end of April because I have other things going on with kids' band. So I'm going to relaunch in my home, no matter how uncomfortable it makes me.
Good. Do it. It doesn't have to be a huge number of people. You could theme it. You could call it, you could have a Margarita Monday, Taco Tuesday. You could have Wild Night In on Wednesday, right? All those fun things. Okay, you guys ready for the next step?
I do have one question, Ashley.
Ask me.
Even though we've been here for 3 years now with COVID, it pretty much shut down all of the home businesses. I don't do virtual. So I'm really looking to relaunch. I'm really excited about it. I've still kept in touch with some, and some people are still, purchasing product. But it's hard to make that face-to-face, which is what I do best and what I enjoy the most. So is it tacky or not recommended that I go even door to door in my neighborhood since we've been here for so long and we know them by face and speak to them?
I would say if you know them on a personal level and you can make it into the conversation, I think it is very awkward to like hang door hangers up. I think it's an
Oh, yeah, yeah,
awkward
yeah.
conversation to knock on door and be like, hey, this is Kit. I don't know if, are you interested in having a sex toy party? Like, I feel like there's a way that you can bring it into the conversation.
Yeah.
And you just have to figure out how to do that amongst the people that you know, because you know their personalities best. If it's, Jenny down the lane who's like wild and crazy, hers is going to be easier to bring up than, Marilyn, who might be 65, 70 years old, who has, no friends. It just depends on the person you're talking to.
Okay.
But yes, anything that you can do through asking them personally is going to be helpful. Okay, any other questions? How do you approach the businesses in the area? Irma, I'm not exactly sure what you mean by approaching businesses. Are you saying like going to a business and talking to them about having a party?
Yes, that's what I mean.
Okay. Typically, you would not be approaching a business in this way. You would typically want to approach individuals. So I wouldn't be looking at a business, this as a business technique. Instead, if you're really struggling, if you really don't know anybody and you cannot get a launch party going, and Irma, I know that you and I've talked a little bit about some of your struggles. I really, really would highly encourage you to try this technique for a launch party. A lot of your customers, I think, are struggling with purchasing from you because they don't even know what it is that it is that you do. They've never seen you in action. They don't know what it is. They're not familiar with the products. They're not familiar with what it is. And you're in an area where there's so little representation in that community. And you also are in the Latina community, which it's a different barriers that you're breaking down, which is also a huge thing for you. If you can break through those barriers and bring them into your home for a comfortable ladies' night in, I think you're going to be surprised at how how excited they are, and they'll introduce you to more friends. But can you try that launch party first?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, good.
Thank you.
You're welcome, honey. All right, so let's go into other booking techniques. Now, I want to be very clear with you ladies that we have a ton of information on the Blended Beauties page. It's also, I want to say, on the Hot Pockets. I'm sure the Diva Squad, I know they have booking games as well. On our team pages, we have oodles and oodles of booking ideas that you can utilize, but nothing is going to work as well as you having a launch party and you asking people for parties if they cannot attend. You will get the best success that way, and you have to ask people. You'll be able to book parties with some of the other techniques that we're going to give you, but I want to be very clear that there are different types of asking. There's passive asking, and there are things that are more proactive. The thing that I just told you right now is a very proactive method to working your business. You could also be very passive because maybe you're shy and you're worried about someone telling you no. And if you continue to go down just the passive route, you can expect that it's going to take you longer to launch and longer to book parties, and it's just going to take more time to get things up and running. So this is what I'm going to tell you to do. Put your big girl panties on and give it a try. All right? Put your big girl panties on and give it a try. What's the worst that can happen? The worst thing that can happen is they tell you no. Bummer. No problem. Would you like to have a party yourself then? And if she tells you no, no problem. Do you mind just keeping my name in the back of your mind if somebody ever says that they do want to have a party? I love referrals. All right. And most of them will absolutely say, you know what? Yeah, I can do that. Okay. So put your big girl panties on, girls. We all start somewhere. I will never, let me take this off screen share again. I will never, ever forget the very first time I asked somebody for a party. And I'll never forget the second time either, because I asked them in person. The first person I asked was a phone call. So weird. So I picked up the phone and I called my It's like, she's like a cousin to my husband married in. All right. I had just moved to Virginia. I was a school teacher for about 2 years before I started up as a consultant. And the only people that I knew were the people that I worked with. Again, I'll remind you, I was a school teacher. Okay. And I taught fifth grade, which was at the very end of the hallway. So the only people that I ever saw were other fifth grade school teachers. Okay. That's it. Nobody came down that end of the hallway. No one wanted to go to the smelly fifth graders. So I I picked up the phone and I called the one person that I knew that was outside of my school people that I knew. And that was Joey's cousin that was kind of married in. She lived in Chesapeake. And I was like, look, I was nervous as all get up. And by the way, this was before we recommended a launch party. Otherwise, I would have totally done that too. And I just called her up and I said, hey, this is like really weird for me to ask this. And I just said that. This is really weird for me to ask this, but I'm really excited about something new that I'm doing. I just started my own business with Pure Romance. We do parties. They have like toys and lube. I didn't know what to say. I was brand new. And I was hoping that maybe you could have a party with me, with your girlfriend, so I could help kick off my business. And you want to know what she said? She said, sure. And I was like, oh my God, really? That would be super awesome. And then I was like, she's like, what do you have available? And I was like, I don't know. I have everything available. I'm telling you what to do because I did it wrong. Okay. So had I have known better, I would have said, oh my gosh, well, I have these dates available. Instead, it took her 3 more days to pick out a date because she was asking her friends what dates would work for them. And, I could have lost that booking, but I didn't. I wound up booking 3 parties from that first party booking, playing some of the games that I'm going to teach you today. Okay. And then after I had that win, I got some big old ovaries. And then I asked the lunch lady. Yes. I asked the lunch lady if she'd have a party with me too. And so I saw her in the hallway and I was like, hey, so I don't know if you heard, but I just started doing some Pure Romance parties on the side. And I'm not sure if maybe you're interested in having a party. And she looked at me, she goes, Ashley, I never thought you would be selling sex toys. Because I was all quiet and shit. And I said, yeah, she goes, I'd love to. That'd be so fun. So I sent her some dates and I booked 3 parties from that party too. My business started there. I asked people. And then from there, I learned how to book parties from parties. And then I also used MySpace. All right. Now we have Facebook, which even works better. All right. I used to message like 300 people all the time. I am so lucky. I'll just say that I did some pretty crazy things when I first got my business started. And I don't recommend doing those types of things. It'd be like putting an ad on Craigslist now, but not quite like that. All right. So don't do that. I used to message people on MySpace, be like, hey, I'm local to your area and I would love to do an in-home party with you. Don't do that. So I'm lucky to be alive. So keep on going. Yeah, don't do that. By the way, that didn't really pan out to be much. I did, you'll have to come to retreat to hear those kinds of stories. All right, so other booking techniques. Here we go. Number 1, look at the holy grails that we have. We have booking ideas galore on there. I am not pulling that up on this screen. Go to the group and look it up. I know that on the Blended Beauties page, it's on the features tab. I know that on the Hot Pockets page, it's on the features tab inside of the Holy Grail. And if you're on Diva Squad, I know it's up on the features tab as well. You will find scripts to book parties. You'll find Facebook posts. You'll find phone call scripts. You'll find texting scripts. You'll find email scripts. You'll find games that you can play on live. You'll find messages that you can send. Okay. Not even going to go there right now. All right. Referrals. Referrals are, I like to say it's like the biggest compliment you can get in your business when somebody refers somebody to you, but they will never know that you love referrals unless you tell them. So when somebody says no to a party booking after you've asked them, or they're just not interested, or they just can't, I always say this to them. Do you mind keeping me in mind if you happen to know of anybody that's interested in having a party in the future? I reward well for referrals. That's all you have to say. And now it's called planting a seed. You've just planted a seed in there, and that's that. I cannot tell you how many referrals I get now because of this. And it spirals on itself. You have all of these people who now your name is inside of their head. So when someone says pure romance party, she thinks of you. And she says, I have this really great person. All right. Another thing that you can do to make sure that you can get some parties is, again, asking people. You cannot expect people to knock on your door and be like, knock, knock. Hey, lady, I just found out you do pure romance parties. I want to have a party. If that ever happens to any of you, consider that a unicorn. All right, that is not going to happen for the majority of you. I did have a couple of rare instances that happened when I had car decals on my car. I remember being chased down inside of a Food Lion parking lot by somebody who was like, I want to have a party. All right, and I had my car decals on my car. All right, that party wound up being a $700 party. I booked parties from that party, and it was a nice little leg of parties that that decal paid for itself over and over again. If you want decals on your car, they can pay off, but don't expect for that to be something that's going to happen to you all the time. That's a unicorn situation. All right, ask people that cannot attend your launch. Ask them. You're going to also have people who are going to say that they can come to your launch party, and then they're not going to show up to your launch party. Hookers, okay? Ask them. All right, those people who say, I want to be there, and then something comes up at the last minute, I'm so sorry, I can't come to your launch party. Ask them. Oh, no problem. You can have a party for me instead. Ask everybody you know. All right, keep your mouth open about your business. Fun fact, today I was not prepared, and I should have been. I went to the post office to drop off a whole bunch of packages because I just wanted to get them out instead of having them here for another day. And the ladies there were saying something like, oh, that's the pure romance lady. Because they pick up packages all the time from my house. And this is a tiny town. Like we got a small town here. And so they know who I am. And they asked me for a catalog because they're not in my VIP group. They're not in there. And whenever I have big orders that are going out, I always put a little gift on top of it. And I say to my awesome USPS person for coming to pick up all these packages. They know it's pure romance. It has pure romance on the bag. It has my business card in there. Yeah, I didn't have a catalog with me. So I told them I had my phone. I told them to join my VIP group. And I had 3 new clients, 3 new people who worked at the post office who joined my VIP group. Keep yourself open. Let people know what you're doing. Okay, so back to screen share. All right, so let's talk about booking parties at your parties. This is where I want you to know, this is where you're going to get the majority of your parties once you get your first few parties on the books. Once you do that launch party, once you start asking your friends, you're going to very easily be able to book parties from your parties if you are doing a few things. Your goal is to get 3 parties booked at every party that you do. That's a sign of a growing business. If you are doing 2 parties at every party, that is a sign of a sustaining business. That means your business will pretty much, it's not going to really grow. It's going to kind of stay where it is because of the rule of cancellations and all of that. And then if you have only 1 party at every party booking, your business will shrink. All right, because again, the rule of cancellations. I want to remind you that we are in an appointment business as well, which means that we're kind of like dentists. We're kind of like doctors. We're kind of like hairdressers. People will cancel their parties with you sometimes. Sometimes things happen. Sometimes people have to reschedule. You have to understand that going into this business, and you can't let it eat you up inside. Some of us get so butthurt about a cancellation, and they fucking suck. Nobody wants a cancellation. Nobody wants that to happen. That's why we prep for it. That's why we overbook. That's why we hostess coach. That's why we do certain things and we pay attention to certain things to know when a cancellation is going to happen. I'm going to teach you those tricks throughout these next 8 weeks. I'm not going to teach them to you right now. We got to get those parties in first. We got to get that up and running. But just know that you will have cancellations. So what we're going to do is I'm going to teach you how to play my favorite party booking game. It is the 20-sided dice game. And what I have is I got this giant 20-sided Is it a 20-sided dice or is it 20-sided die? Isn't die plural? I am not the grammar person here. I was a math teacher. So this is a 20-sided dice, or is it a 20-sided die? Dice? Dice. That's what I thought.
It's a die.
It's one. I thought die were more than one.
Dice is plural.
Dice is plural,
Yes.
and die is one.
Yep.
Okay, 20-sided die. All right, so if by the way, you don't have to get these Mama Jamma juicy ones. This one is like as big as the palm of my hand. It's huge, and I love it because I can see the numbers very easily. These things are about $10 on Amazon for these 20-sided ones. You do not have to have, hang on a second. You do not have to have the giant ones. You can get smaller ones for like a couple bucks if you want to just go with the small ones. So what you're going to do when you are at a party is you are going to make sure you have your open date card ready with all of the dates that you want on it. All the dates are the closest dates that you want booked, no more than 9 dates on this page. All right, you might have 30 dates open. When you put 30 dates on there, it's too confusing and overwhelming for them. That's like going to Walmart and seeing like all the different pens that they have in the pen aisle. Have you ever done that? Just give me something to write with. That's all I want. It's too overwhelming. It's like shampoo aisle. You don't want to be that person. All right, just give them a couple choices. So 20-sided dice. When they are walking into the space where they're going to do the party, you're going to have them roll the dice. You're going to say, welcome to the party. Can you roll this dice and write down this number on the corner of your customer connection card? We're going to walk through all what a customer connection card is later down the line. All right. But it's a little card that has their info. It looks like this. It looks like that. All right. You're going to have them write it in the corner. So roll the dice. She has 11. She writes down 11 in the corner. And you're just going to leave it just like that. You're going to do this for everybody inside of the party. They are all going to write down a number. They're going to ask you a lot of questions about it throughout the party. What is that number for? Or while they roll it, what's this for? You're just going to have to find out. We're going to have a little foreplay here, friends. We're going to do some foreplay and let you just hold on, find out later. Middle of the party rolls in. You're going to tell them what that number's about. And you're going to play what's called a booking game. Some people call it a booking commercial. And you're going to say, I'm sure many of you are curious about the number that you guys rolled earlier. One of the things I love most about my business is I get to go to people's homes and I get to reward my hostesses with a bunch of freebies just for having me over. All right. And now I'm going to pull up the hostess. Come on up, Susie Hostess. Come sit down in this chair for me for a minute. She's going to sit right down. Come here, Susie Hostess. Oh. Okay, Susie. Here's Susie. You sit right here. Okay. She's not going to stay. All right. That was Susie. All right. And then you're going to say, you have your demonstration table out in front of you. It's already here. You're going to say, Susie, just for having the party, she's going to get a free gift. All right. So Susie, she's going to be getting a bottle of a Bosom Buddy, whatever it is, whatever you're giving her. Okay. So here's your hostess gift. Yay. Here you go. Boom. She's holding it. All right. And you're also going to get 10% of the party sales in free product. So our average party is about $800. So you're going to get like $80 in free product. So you're going to just go on your table and pick up like $80 in free product. Just pick up $80 in product and just put it on her lap. Here you go. There you go. In addition to that, because you booked at blah, blah, blah's party, you got that extra bonus. Remember that bonus? That was, you rolled the dice and you rolled a number. Do you remember? Was it a 3? Oh yeah. So you're going to be able to choose any one item that's $40 or less, and you're going to get it for $3. Bam. Like choose something off the table. Boom. Let's say you pick that. You put it on her lap. Plus, not to mention, as the party gets bigger, you're going to get some 50% off items. You can do whatever percent if you want to. You could say some items at my discount. And I know you're going to pick like Tom tonight, right? Boom. There you go. And her arms are now full of all this stuff. All right. They're full of all this stuff. You guys know what that does, right? It's for visual learners. Because people need to know why they should have a party. Our parties are fun. All right. They can also help a friend when they have a party. But they also get a ton of free stuff by having a party. And so what I did is I showed them what the dice was for. And I reminded them what she rolled and what she's going to be able to get. And then I'm just going to put it back on them. I'm going to just have her sit there still with all of the stuff. And I'm going to say, each one of you have the same opportunity tonight to get some free stuff. You all have rolled a number on your dice. These are the dates I have available. If you see a date that works for you, you are going to take the sticky note off of the board and put whatever date that you want on your customer connection card, and that's going to tell me that you want that date, and you're going to be able to get any one item that's $40 or less for the number that you rolled up on here. You'll get that the night of your party. Okay? And that's it. Then I pass it around. Now, if you want to add an extra layer to that, you could say, by the way, if I have 3 people who choose a party date tonight, my hostess is going to get another gift from me, and it's inside of this envelope. Okay. And you can just put a little piece of paper in there that says any one extra item that is $50 or less for free once all 3 parties hold a qualifying party. Okay. Again, you could write something that says, I'll say it again, any one item that is $50 or less for free once all 3 parties hold a qualifying party. You're not giving it to her that night. You're going to give it to her after all 3 parties hold a qualifying party. And to me, a qualifying party is a party that holds on its original date, the date that was on that sticky note, and at least $400 in sales. That's what qualifying to me sounds like. Okay. We are going to talk a lot more strategy on how to get the best bang for your buck, how to reward your hostesses without breaking the bank, how you can reward your hostesses without it costing you much of anything at all. But that's not a today training. Today's training is about helping you get your parties booked. All right. So that was a technique that I use at my in-home parties that helps me build my calendar like super, super crazy fast. I'm going to go to that page in a minute. I want to find out what questions you guys have for me about the dice game, the 20-sided dice game, and the open date cards, if anything, and stacking the hostess dice game, open date card. And I know some of you probably have used this technique, but it was probably like you totally forgot about it. Did any of that like bring back some memories for you? And you're like, oh, I forgot that used to work really, really well. Good. Good, good. You've never done the dice game, Nina? Shut up. Out of all the parties that you have done, you've never done a dice game. I'm really, really surprised by that, actually. Do I put the time on the open date card? Yes, I do, April. So on the open date cards, I will usually put like Saturday, April 15th, start time at 6 or 7 p.m. And I just make it very clear on when I want to do my start times. Let me read some of these questions. Do I have a better rate of people holding parties on the weekends or during the week? So I think they both have their pros and cons. I think that when you do a weekday party, you typically will have fewer people there, but the people who are there are excited to be there. It's a fast party in and out usually. Weekends, as the weather gets warmer, have a higher rate of cancellation, especially on a Saturday, because there are so many other things to do. I would say if you are really considering doing parties on weekends, I would move them later on in the day and not do like a 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock time frame, because a lot of people are doing other things during that time frame. Let's see here. I'm just reading through these. Do I have instructions on the 20-sided dice game that's printable? I don't, Amy. Although I'll have to check. I might somewhere inside of some kind of document from retreat from years ago. You've only played one game ever, Nina? What game do you play? Is it like an envelope game?
Yeah, the envelope game. Yes, I've literally never played a different game. So I'm excited about this dice game.
The envelope game, for those of you who don't know what that is that when you give every single person an envelope and it has a product in the inside of it and they can kind of steal from each other. Is that how you do it?
not steal from each other, but just everyone gets it's basically they get that item for free when they have a party.
Yeah, super, super simple one. The dice game, in my opinion, is really interactive. It's fun. It gives them, something exciting to look forward to. By the way, I choose $40 or less because to me, that's an easy number. It's not like having 2 dice where the most common number is a 7 to roll. I'm sorry, that's the math nerd in me talking. Every single number on here has an equal chance of it being rolled. So it could be 1, it could be 20. And I'm okay with that $40 price point. If you really want to get some parties booked and you have like a really great audience and you're like, I have some extra credit, I have some extra hostess rewards, you could also say something like, I have, when you decide to have a party with me on one of my open dates, you'll pay whatever number you roll, you'll pay that for this vibrator. And hold up maybe a close contact or a personal touch. And you could say it's $149 vibrator. You'll get it for $3 the night of your party. And you only paid $25 for it because it's on sale. So you can work with the numbers however you want to make it look sexier and juicier for you. It might be in the Holy Grail. Dory, is it always $400? I recommend if you're going to do a qualifying party that you make it $400 or more. I wouldn't do it any less because you don't want to lose money on this. Okay, cool. So let's go with some other things that can be really helpful, and then I will let you guys get back to your life. Strategies that will help you get your parties on the books. You will always have people who will say, I have to look at my calendar. All right, I don't know what date's going to be the best. I have to look at my calendar. That's when you're going to use the pencil in strategy. Say something like this: no problem. Do you mind if we take a peek at some of the dates now? And I can pencil you in for one that you think might work. That way you can get this party incentive when you roll the dice. That way you can help our hostess tonight. She's only an extra party away from getting that free gift. Why do I recommend the pencil in strategy? Because it's so much easier to move a party date than it is to try to chase somebody around who said that they want to have a party, but she didn't choose a date. A party is not in your books until it is in your books. You can have anybody tell you that they want to have a party, but that party is not a party until it's in your books. So that's the pencil in strategy. You can also use the strategy of helping your hostess. I said this before, when 3 people choose a date tonight, our hostess will get to open up this envelope. And you could have that, sitting inside of this folder. You could have it. Another way that I do it is I put a whole stack of them in there, and I just put a scratch off over the top of it. You can get these scratch offs on the Amazon. And so I could say, once 3 of you decide to have a date tonight, she's going to be able to scratch off this little sticker, and it's going to reveal an extra gift for her, which, by the way, says the same thing I already told you. She gets any one item that is $50 or less after all 3 parties hold a qualifying party. And why does this work? Why does it work when you say that your hostess is going to get an extra bonus? Because people book parties for 3 different reasons. They book parties because they're fun. They book parties to help a friend. They book parties for a free product. So if you're able to work on that component for them helping their friends, and they're already kind of interested, it's going to help to nudge them forward to choose that date. All right. The third strategy that you can use to help you book parties is the fun and freebies. All right. The stacking the hostess is a huge visual to help people understand that they get free product by having a party. That's going to really help those people who maybe can only buy a coochie cream that night because she doesn't have a ton of money. Or maybe those people who had an unexpected expense and she really has a huge wish list. All right, but she just can't support the hostess in a huge way tonight. Those people will be great to have a party for. And the biggest strategy to help you book parties, guys, is for you to just be authentically you. You do not have to be perfect by doing an in-home party. I think the biggest things that people do is they sweat the small stuff and they go, oh my gosh, I don't know what to say about every single product. I don't know everything about the products. I don't know anything about the lube and what's inside of them. No one cares. No one cares at your party. They don't care. Most of them are drunk already. Most of them are talking to their friends. This is what you say about lube when you forget. If you were like, you're showing the just like me and you're like, oh my gosh, I just had a brain fart, forgot what I say. You squirt it on your finger and you go, this stuff is so good. I forgot what I was going to say about it, but it feels real good inside of you. Here, everyone feel it. That's all you got to say. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Y'all, it is not rocket science. We sell purple penises. All right. It is not that hard. So just always remember the phrase that it is okay if I don't know everything about the business yet. It's okay if I don't know everything about the products yet. They're there to have fun with their friends. And you definitely probably know more than they do. Okay. Are we all okay with that? Some of us do not do parties because we are so worried that we are going to suck. Y'all aren't going to suck. You're going to suck if you don't do parties. It's just like riding a bike. You're going to get better with more practice. Okay. Back to the drawing board. Okay. So your second password is 0. Your second password is 0. Okay, so things to do this week. This is it. Take a screenshot of this. The stuff that is in black, bolded black, those are the most important things that you do. And do them in this order. You want to make sure you have a paper calendar. By the way, they are on sale on Michael's or Hobby Lobby right now. I just saw them the other day for like $6 because we're partially through 2022. Find them in the clearance section. You don't need the other dates, but you at least have enough to get you through the year if you're on a budget. Okay. You can figure out what dates you have open for parties for April, May, and June. That's what you want to work on this week. Circle those dates in your schedule. You should always know what you're going to be doing in the next 90 days in your business. Always. Do you think Walmart has a plan right now? Hell yeah, they do. Are they putting out Easter stuff right now? Psh, bitch, no. They've been having Easter stuff out for 3 damn months now. Want to know why? Because they have a plan. They're already done. They probably already know what they're getting for Christmas. They probably already knew what they were getting for Christmas in January. So have a plan for your business. You have a business, right? Run it like you have a plan. All right. Third thing you're going to do this week is you're going to choose a date for your launch or your relaunch party. The sooner, the better. The longer you wait to push this off, the less money you are going to make because let's just take this off screen share. Let's talk about logistics of a business right now. Right now we are on tax season, baby. Tax season, people are bored. There's not a whole lot to do. Once spring break hits, once summer break hits, you are competing against other activities that are going on. The sooner you get your party in right now, the sooner you can get parties lined up and the sooner you're going to be able to propel yourself forward through summer. If you wait even a month to do this, you may miss the mark on this. Okay? I mean it in the kindest way. Get that party in the books. Meow. Get it in. Okay, so choose the date for your launch party or your relaunch ASAP. Create a Facebook event for your launch or relaunch and only invite those guests that say that they're coming. You're going to personally invite those guests and a private message. And if they cannot attend, you're going to offer them to have their own party. And then finally, the other thing you're going to do is you're going to visit the Holy Grail, the badass booking ideas, and you're going to try one of those ideas in addition to your launch or relaunch stuff. Just try one. That's going to be your to-do list of things to do. Do not do these last 3 things until you have a launch or relaunch booked or you have some other parties on the books. Some people get so busy in the fun stuff. You're like, oh, I'm going to order that 20-sided dice. I'm going to make an open date card. I'm going to make that number 3 envelope. And then they're like, I don't have any parties booked. It doesn't make any sense to do that stuff unless you have parties booked. Okay. I know it sounds obvious, but I know some of you are already planning to color code some bullshit right now because some of you like to pretend that you're busy when you're really not busy. Tell me I'm right. You don't have to make things perfect. You just want to get them done when they need to get done. All right. Don't worry about color coding stuff. Don't worry about your 20-sided dice. Don't worry about all of that stuff until you have parties to show for it. The thing that you work hard on right now is by booking those parties and getting them in your schedule. All the other things will come across. How many of you are people who will make yourself busy by just being busy, but it doesn't actually do anything? Like color coding things, Excel spreadsheets, sorting things, ABC order, bullshit. Stop that. Stop that. Don't do that. It's not income producing, okay? You heard it from me. All right. Once you have parties booked, these are the last 3 things you can do. Order your 20-sided dice. Consider that the gift to yourself. If you already went on Amazon and ordered it, cancel that order until you get that other shit done. Cancel it. All right. Create your 3 envelope for your hostess for her to open at her parties when she gets 3 parties. And then finally create your open date card with sticky notes. That's that. Did you guys cancel your 20-sided dice order? Did you do it? Okay. All right. What questions do you have? Called out on your bullshit. I'm really good at that. All right. So what questions do you have for me? Feel free to unmute yourself. That is all the content for today. Boom. I got it done a little bit 10 minutes afterwards, but I gave myself to 8 o'clock. So I'm actually really excited that I didn't go over 8 o'clock. Good. What questions do you have for me? And are you excited?
I have a question.
Ask me.
Okay. So maybe you'll go over this at a different time, but you're talking about all these freebies and discounts that you're giving the hostess. How do you figure that out so that you're still making
Yep.
money?
We are going
You
to
know
talk
what I
about
mean?
that on another training.
Okay, cool.
Yep. We'll do a big deep dive on how to reward your hostesses in a good way. For your launch party, you don't have to worry about it as much. You are your own hostess. If you want to do a launch party and give away something, just give away a bottle of coochie cream or something like that. And if, by the way, just as a side note, if you don't have inventory for an in-home party, we are going to be talking about inventory. We're going to be talking about, demonstration items. All of that stuff will be a part of the training. But if you have the opportunity to get an inventory advantage program, this is the time to get that. In-home parties, you will sell so much more when you have inventory in stock. I am not a person who's going to push inventory on you if you're not doing in-home parties. If you're going to be mostly doing stuff online, that's totally different. But in-home parties, for those of you who have done them before, it's a huge difference when you have inventory. I'm talking a $200, $300 party can turn into $1,000 party like that. It's a big deal. People want their items that night when they're excited. So if you have that opportunity, if you see it pop up on your screen with Pure Romance, give yourself that opportunity and that gift to get the Inventory Advantage program. Oh, I'm sorry, I think it's called an Inventory Booster now. All right, what other questions do you have for me? No other questions. All right, don't forget to send me your passcodes for your little freebie something-somethings. It's gonna come in a PDF form and give me a little time to get all those to you. So I hope you guys all have a great rest of your evening and go get your shiznit done. All right, bye guys.
Bye.
Bye.